We are doing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 12, Chapter 5. It's a new chapter. Last time we had completed Chapter 4. So this chapter is called the Final Instructions to Maharaj Parikshit. As you know, Parikshit is just about to die. So Sukdev Goswami is giving his final instructions. Sukdev Goswami said, this Srimad Bhagavatam has elaborately described in various narrations the Supreme Soul of all that be, the personality of Godhead. Hari, from whose satisfaction Brahma is born and from whose anger Rudra has taken birth. So Sukdev Goswami is discussing the current text that we are doing. He says that so far, whatever that has been described to you is a part of the stories of the divine. We have taken a lot of stories of the divine, starting from the first avatar to the last avatar. And then we have done what is called the closing ceremony also, where the last avatar has completely been shut off from the material world. So now this is the one being which have been described continuously in all this. So we were talking about the Supreme Divine Consciousness, and in the Supreme Divine Consciousness we are discussing Sri Krishna only. There is no other person that we can discuss over here. So in this, if you recollect what I had told you, oh, there's some issue, is it? Cannot hear. Okay. Sorry. Now you can hear. Okay, good. Alright, I'll have to restart all over again. Okay, so we are doing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 12. This is the last canto, Chapter 5, which is a new chapter today because last time we had completed Chapter 4. And this is Sukdev Goswami's final instructions to Maharaj Parikshit. Okay, so we'll start. Sukdev Goswami said, this Srimad Bhagavatam had elaborately described in various narrations the Supreme Soul of all that be, the personality of Godhead, Hari, from whose satisfaction Brahma is born and from whose anger Rudra takes birth. Good, at least we are having some smile now in the morning. It so happens that all the avatars of Krishna has been discussed, right from the beginning to the end, and this was done in the Srimad Bhagavatam only. This is a very important text, and the story goes that this whole thing was discussed at the time of the bite of that snake bird. Parikshit was coming back to his kingdom and he had come to know that he is about to die. At that point in time, he is arranging for a big yajna. And when he arranges for this big yajna, he has ensured that he gets to hear about the Lord. At that given moment, Sukdev Goswami, he is passing by. Now since this is the closing chapter, so we have to give, just giving you a brief introduction again, what is the meaning of all these things. So Sukdev comes over there, sits in front of him and is being requested by Parikshit to let him know about the entire lifetimes of the Lord. So from the beginning till now, he has discussed many lifetimes, including a small reference to the new avatar which is about to come. It's not yet come. Alright, it's about to come in the future somewhere. And this avatar is not discussed that much in detail because, as you know, this is the future. So the future means the Kali Yuga. We are living in that future. And unfortunately, a time for Sukdev Goswami and Parikshit to end the story has come. So this is the final instruction. So I have given you up to date what has happened. So he says that this particular person that we were discussing about in this particular text, Srimad Bhagavatam, is the supreme divine consciousness, and he had taken multiple forms. But before he took that, the three major forms that are there, which is Brahma, Vishnu and Shankar, that is Mahesh, these three forms had come from the supreme divine itself. Alright, so we are recapping the whole thing. O king, give up this animalistic mentality of thinking, I am going to die. Unlike the body, you have not taken birth. There was not a time in the past when you did not exist and you are not about to be destroyed. This is a repetition of the same thing which we saw in the Bhagavad Gita, that there isn't a time when you are not there and that you are there. Like you are going to be there constantly. When we talk of these kind of extensions, what exactly is meant over here? It is meant that the essence which is within you of the Divine Lord is never going to go away. Now, within you, when I say these words, what does it mean? It means that we are still thinking body is more important, isn't it? And because body is more important, we are wondering whether we should be giving importance to the body or to the divinity. Now, in this case, Sukdev Goswami says, you have to give up this animalistic thinking. What is animalistic thinking? Animalistic thinking is the animal thinks that I have to live on instincts, I have to live day to day, I have to eat, I have to do this, I have to do that. Finally, in the end, the animal is surviving. Similarly, your body is also surviving, isn't it? So, how does it survive? If you think about it, it is surviving because the elements are involved on one side, which is the body, and on the other side, you have the divinity which is making this body survive. If the divinity was non-existent, how will you survive in this body? So, does it mean that you are the body or you are the divinity? So, I hope you understand. We are not discussing the body because body keeps on changing time and again, time and again, time and again. We are getting refilled, refill. Refill. When you want a printer ribbon to refill, that how it is to be done. You go to the person and you put some drops and okay, again we can use it. You are not supposed to, but we Indians are very, very creative in our work like that. So you understand, this is a text which is going to tell you, you are like a refill. You are going to put 2 more drops inside and then you have the next life and then but are you that? Just you need to think, is it what we are talking about? We are not talking about you being a part of that cartridge, okay? This is a cartridge, body is a cartridge, remember that. It is the ink inside. See, that is what goes, ahead and ahead. If there is no ink, how will you survive? So if it was just the body, if you were just the body, then what is the point? It can be thrown away. But if you are the spirit, that Jivatma inside, then you are not the body. So never ever be under this mistaken impression that you are the body. Body is just an appendage. It is just there for the sake of giving you this existence in the material world. So you need to exist, you are there. It is the same way where you join a committee. Suppose you are joining a particular committee in your area, like the say Lions Club or one of those Rotary clubs or something like that. Till the time you are not a member of the committee, you won't have many benefits, isn't it? Then you are nobody. In the same way, we are a part of this entire creation, because of the body. If the body was non-existent, then you cannot be a part of a creation. Remember, I am talking about creation. Don't forget this word. Creation. Creation is a part and parcel of the Prakriti. Prakriti is Mother Nature. Mother Nature creates. So when Mother Nature creates, you get to be in this world. You, the Jeev Atma, gets to be in this world. So we should never discount that also. Otherwise, human beings, okay, now I know, I am the spirit soul. You can't walk through the walls, okay? Otherwise, tomorrow you'll try walking through the walls. You can't float also that way. You still have the body, okay? It's like banging your head against the wall. You will get into trouble, okay? So give the importance to the body, but not so much of an importance that you are going to treat it as if you are the body. Get it? It's like a temporary position. It's like a minister. Okay, you are there till you are a minister. After you lose your ministership, you are nobody. So the body is to be given only that much of importance. But you are not the body. Remember these. These are very important words which are supposed to be a part of the final instructions. You will not take birth again in the form of your son or grandson, like a sprout taking birth from a seed and then generating a new seed. Rather, you are entirely distinct from the material body and its paraphernalia in the same way that fire is distinct from its fuel. This is something which we need to understand. Every time when a man thinks that he is a part and parcel of what is called as, oh, I am the one who is born again and again. Born again. When I see my son, the man thinks, when I see my son, he is just like me. And then we have grandchildren, they are just like me. This is a mistaken concept. You are not your son and neither are you your grandson. Similarly, a woman should never think, my daughter is like me. Like me, illa. Don't be under this impression. There is nobody called daughter is like me, okay? The daughter is different, you are different, and then grandchildren, they are completely different. Just to tell you, just imagine, you are an European, okay? You have Asian children and you have African grandchildren. Are they related? I mean, just think about this kind of a concept, right? So, these three things don't go hand in hand. But then how did they come about? Oh, genetics. Oh, no genetics over here. Genetics has nothing to do with the divinity. Genetics has everything to do with this material world, the mother nature. Remember, Prakriti is the owner of that, not you. Don't ever take ownership of your children or your grandchildren or your great-grandchildren or whoever. Because, and also your parents. Otherwise you will think, these are my parents. So, what is Sukdev Goswami telling him, Parikshit? He says, you should not take ownership of this because your children are another spirit soul. Another. They are nowhere related. Relationship is not there. If relationship is to be understood, then everybody is related. You got what I am saying? That means even your neighbor's child is related to you. Even the pig, the newborn pig is related to you. I hope you understand that much. Tomorrow you can't take the pig and say, this is my baby, isn't it? Right? So, just think about it. If you really want relationship, then the pig is the nearest to you, or maybe the monkey. Let us give Charles Darwin that much amount of credit. Okay, the monkey is your baby. It's not like that. That child which you are fondling or that grandchild which you are having is not yours. It's another spirit soul. Another. And if you think in terms of spirituality, then everything is one. The whole thing is one. And if the whole thing is one, then you need to understand that you are no different than them. Alright? So that means your father, your mother could become your brother or sisters. And your daughters are also your brothers and sisters. Your grandchildren are also your brothers and sisters, if that is how you want to see it. I hope you got this point. So never make the distinction that these are my children. and they are looking just like me. Doesn't give you the right to say that they are you. Or because tomorrow you can come up with an example. Okay, from one seed came one plant, and from that plant came some seeds, and then there was another. That ongoing process that you think, where replication of that same DNA happens, a similar type of DNA happens. It is DNA, it is connected to the material realm or the Prakriti. Do not mix it with the divine. Okay? Divinity is coming from the spirit soul. I hope you got that. So here he is saying, you will not take birth again in the form of your son or grandson. It's just an example. Like a sprout taking birth from a seed and then generating a new seed. Rather, you are entirely distinct from the material body and its paraphernalia. And in this same way, the fire is distinct from its fuel. In a dream, one can see one's own head being cut off and thus understand that his actual self is standing apart from the dream experience. Similarly, while awake, one can see that his body is product of 5 material elements. Therefore, it is to be understood that the actual self, the soul, is distinct from the body it observes and is unborn and immortal. We just discussed this, so I hope you got it. Body is not you. Body is coming from the elements and Mother Nature. Mother Nature is a creatrix. She is making stuff. Okay, she is like a chef, a master chef. She is creating objects. It doesn't mean that you are the, what is that? Quesadilla, is it? Okay, something like that. Otherwise, or quesadilla, something like that. Okay, somebody is correcting me. I hope you got it. Or a burger. Tomorrow you can't call yourself. Okay. So I hope you got the hint that you are not the body. You are neither your children nor your grandchildren. They are distinct. You are distinct. Everything is different. In spiritual, we can consider everything as one. So we do go away from the spirit soul onto the supreme soul. Alright. This is the only thing that you need to understand. When a pot is broken, the portion of the sky within the pot remains as the element sky just as before. In the same way, the gross and the subtle bodies die. The living entity within resumes his spiritual identity. Alright, now this is something which we need to, I have been teaching you all, but we will again see. When the pot is broken, what is a pot? The pot is your body, okay? Otherwise you will think your head is like a pot. No, pot is broken. When you die, what happens? Just like the pot goes back into the earth and the sky. Sky means the space inside the pot becomes part of the space outside. Correct? In the same way, just what happens when you die? In the same way, when the gross and the subtle bodies die, the living entity within resumes his spiritual identity. So till that time, you are experiencing the pot, experiencing this body. We are a combination of 3 bodies. Alright? So these 3 bodies are being experienced and 5 sheaths. I don't have to explain to you all these 5 sheaths, we already know about it. The 3 bodies are the gross body, the subtle body and the causal body. So all these 3 bodies put together. Now, once you finish this entire cycle, you are never going to come back. Think about it like that. When you are never going to come back, then all these 3 bodies go back to the material realm. Everything goes back to the material realm. Alright? So you are only the Jivatma or Atma. You become one with the Paramatma. You become completely dissolved. Alright? That is what he says. The material bodies, qualities and activities of the spirit soul are created by the material mind. The mind is itself created by illusory potency of the Supreme Lord, and thus the soul assumes material existence. So everything happens because of your dirty mind. So you keep on taking birth after birth after birth after birth because of your mind alone. So always remember, it is the mind which causes you to think and say you are the body. Okay, now if I call you all an idiot on this, all the idiots are watching. You know how hurtful it is to say, Guruji is calling me an idiot, I'll shut off this thing. I don't want to be a part of this also. So it hurts a person, isn't it? Does it not hurt you too when I call you all some names? So please remember one thing. This hurt, this upset that is happening, oh, he's talking like this to me, she's talking this way. The moment you say these words, you are giving rise to something which is called the ego, ahankara. And this ahankara is making you come back again and again and again and again. I hope you don't want to do that just because of your dirty ego, okay, and your dirty mind. So when your dirty mind is there, what happens? It will put you on the track of rebirth. Right? How does it happen? Again, I gave you an example. Another example. This is my son or this is my daughter. Okay, your mind is saying that. Who is saying? Your mind. And the moment your mind says that, you are connected to that body. So you will have to keep on coming to get into this body's frame every now and then. This is called the frame. Okay, I need the frame clean. Now just imagine some people are peeping in like this, like this, like this. What is going to happen? Okay, so there is a problem, isn't it? So now you understand your frame is your life frame. Life frame is very, very important. So in your life frame, I'll just imagine somebody says, hey, did you have tea? I mean, just poking the nose in the middle. Oh, you are on live. Okay, I should not be asking this. You know how stupid that sounds? But you are already captured for infinity, isn't it? You are already there now. It's a live broadcast and it is happening. Just see, when my computer crashed, my iPad crashed, what happened? It was live. And now, next time when Guruji is saying, oh, what happened to my iPad? It crashed. You got the point. So it is like that. You're going to be a part of that. So if you think your children are your life, you're going to be tagged along with them and they will be the cause of your rebirth again and again and again. And you are anyway responsible. So primary responsibility is you. Secondary is them. Okay, but people will never take the responsibility. They will say, I am not responsible. But you are responsible. Who is responsible here? Stupid mind. Okay? Or idiot mind. It is keeping you tracked onto this. It's literally like, going on and on and on and on and on. So, Sukadeva Goswami is telling Parikshit, please do not let your mind enter the picture. Do not have any attachments of any kind. If you have attachments of any kind, you are going to be attached to that individual forever and ever and ever. Why? Because of your mind. The mind is a very, very dangerous element in our world. Mind is also important. Mind is like a tool. Remember the tools. Okay? The tool is important, but misuse of the tool has been given for a certain reason, isn't it? So you got to use that reasoning and say, yes, I can use it for a proper purpose. But when the mind gets attached to objects, then what happens? Then you get into very big trouble. Alright? So I hope you understood this much, where Sukadeva Goswami is saying, the material body, okay. Qualities and activities of the spirit soul are created by the material mind. That mind is itself created by illusory potency of the Supreme Lord. It is the illusory potency. Illusory potency is called Maya. Alright? Maya is creating illusions. Prakriti is creating tangible objects. You got it? Tangible and intangible. Whatever that you see in this material world, including the trees, these, that, all those things are a part of what is called as Prakriti. But the invisible creature like the mind, can you see? It is a part and parcel of the Maya. Alright, the illusory potency. And because you get tracked onto this mind and trapped also, trapped because of your attachments to objects, people, places, those kind of things. Now imagine, if I ask everybody, would you like to live in the place where you are, or would you like to go to Paris and Milan or Venice and all those places? Or would you like to go to Timbuktu or maybe Nairobi? Which place you want to go next life? So now you understood. Just imagine, You are coming from a small village, Andyapanur. Would you like to go back there again? Allah, I don't want to go back there, you will say. Huh? Exactly. So in the same way, why you want this body again? This body will only come if you die thinking that, oh, I lived in this place. This one was my father, that one was my mother, these were my children. So attachment is going to bring you back, and you understood that attachment are useless because neither are your children related to you, nor are your parents, nor is your husband, nor is your wife. Nobody is related to you in reality. They are not relations. They are just a part of your journey. They are like travelers. You understand travelers? They are coming and going. They just come, they go away. A lamp functions as such only for the combination of its fuel, wick, vessel and fire. Similarly, material life based on the soul's identification within the body is developed and destroyed by the working of material goodness, passion and ignorance, which are the constituent elements of the body. So he's giving one example of the lamp. The lamp functions such only by the combination of its fuel, vessel, wick and fire. The material body, our material body, this is the physical material body, based on the soul's identification. That means you start thinking this is your body. You is different than the body, correct? You are different than the body. Body is different. We have understood that. So if you think that you are the body, then what happens? You get trapped into the gunas also. So there are three gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas, and you get trapped into these three gunas, and because you get trapped into these three gunas, you are going to be constantly in a cycle of life and death. The soul within the body is self-luminous and is separate from the visible gross body and invisible subtle body. It remains as the fixed basis of changing body's existence, just as the ethereal sky is unchanging background of material transformation. Therefore, the soul is endless and without material comparison. Now, he is given an example where so many heavenly bodies come and they go. You've seen the comets, isn't it? You have also seen some bodies, heavenly bodies, they come and they disappear. I'm sure you have seen, if not in this lifetime, maybe in the previous or the previous, because some new planets have appeared also. New galaxies have also appeared. Okay, so let us assume that yes, there are new things in this. Okay. Maybe we had two suns. I'm not talking the ones which came from your body. Sun, S-U-N, different between S-O-N. So there may be two suns or there may be 20 moons. Who knows that? You will say that is not possible. But you could be on a planetary system where there were two suns. No? It's possible. Who says no? There are so many suns, so many moons, so many planets, so many, stars around in the universe. So, if you understand what I'm saying, in this case, he says, what is the main thing to remember in all this? Even if you sweep all the suns and the moons and everything away, you sweep them away, remove them out from the system. What remains? We call it as the ether or the space. Correct? Space remains. It's still there. Go away, space remains. Right? In some people's case, only the space in the tomb will remain, or everything on your body and all is going to get eaten away by all those kida makodas. And those who get burnt like us, what is going to remain? That idiot was alive, Now he is dead. I'm happy he is dead. That is the only thing that will be alive in their mind, isn't it? So, what will remain is only a memory kind of a thing, whereas nothing. So memory is like a space only, isn't it? So just imagine, if you sweep all the planets away, nothing remains, so only space. Like that. So it's an example. Example says, if everything goes away, everything is swept away, what remains is called the soul, the supreme soul. Alright, that is all that remains. And it is endless, there is no end to it. My dear king, by constantly meditating upon the Supreme Lord Vasudeva and by applying clear and logical intelligence, you should carefully consider your true self and how it is situated within the material body. So, I know you have to use a lot of your mind, which will tell you that your name is XYZ something, And as much as you can try, you cannot think of yourself as a part of Krishna or a part of the divine. Otherwise, tomorrow you will think about, okay, I'll come with a Sudarshan Chakra and all that kind of stuff. Don't do that. Okay, the chakra is not going to come. You will all the contrary, you will become all chakra over here. So think about it. You need to understand that you are nothing but a part of the divine. This divinity is you. Alright? Who is this divinity? The divinity is the supreme divine consciousness, or what we call as God. In this, it is called Sri Krishna. Now, you are a part and parcel of Krishna. This is logically you should think of, okay? I know it's going to be illogical, but still, logically think. And you better pray to him, isn't it? Because if you want to be a part of, you have to understand, if you want to be a part of the team, Anil Kumble or whoever is the selector, you have to lagawa a little bit maska, isn't it? See, today Sunil Gavaskar has given a statement that Virat Kohli doesn't know how to play. Just think about it. Virat Kohli is known to play better. Okay, but you can make those kind of statements if you wish to. At the end of the day, everybody is interested in the selector, isn't it? The main selector. Sir, can I get selected? So like that. Our super boss is Krishna. So you better ensure that you are selected. Alright. So it is most important, right? So you need to have a little bit of one-on-one with him and maybe talk to him sometimes. Important part is you have to remember that there is a final authority. And this final authority we call him Krishna. Some people call him Supreme Consciousness. Some people call him Allah. Some people call him God, Bhagwan, Father in heaven. You name it, whatever you want to call him. It is the same, singular entity. And we need to have understanding that we are a tiny part of that whole. Because he has created us also in this. Now don't get complications, he created Prakriti and from Prakriti you came. Okay, everything came from him, alright. So we have to give him that credit and we have to always pray to him and let him make us understand constantly that we are not the body. The snake bird Takshaka, sent by the curse of the Brahmana, will not burn your true self. The agent of death will never burn such a master of the self as you, for you have already conquered all the dangers of your path back to Godhead. So this is something, Takshaka is the bird, if you remember, going back to the story of Parikshit. Parikshit was beaten by that snake bird, remember? And he is supposed to die. So he is reminding him, your body may die, but the supreme divine which is there, the tiny portion of the divine which is there, is not going to die. And you are that self. Again and again the same repetition. How many times you will say, can we fast forward this to end? Huh? Yes, you are the self. I got it, boss, I got it. But imagine, this fellow is about to die, Parikshit. I say, you got to remember, you are the self, you are the self, you are the self, you are the self, you are the self. Well, when you are dying, yes, I am the self. Yes, I am the self. I should have invested wisely. Just imagine, think about it. When you are about to die, you are thinking like, oh, I should have invested wisely. Okay, next time I will think about all these things. Before I die, I should have taken out my life insurance from Takshaka bird. I'll just imagine Parikshit talking like this. No. I am the self. Sukdev Goswami is sitting over there. Remember, you are the self. You are the self. So this is nothing but to draw your attention back to the reality. The reality is you are not the body, you are the self. You are not the body, you are the self. Okay. You can practice this mantra also. You know how it is to be done? Soham. Soham means I am that. I am. Okay. Tattvamasi. Thou art that, I am that. These are those phrases which are there in our Vedas. They have been talking about this from donkey's years. Even after listening to them hundreds of times, you'll still wonder, this is not connected to me. I don't think this is not my department, I think. Anything to do with storage and all I can think of. Not in terms of this. Rest of it is not my department, isn't it? No. This is a part and parcel. Parikshit is also going to die. We are also going to die. Remember, you are the self. You should consider, I am not different from the absolute truth, the supreme abode. and that the absolute truth, the supreme destination, is not different from me. Thus, resigning yourself to the Supreme Soul, who is free from all material misidentification, you will not even notice the snake bird Takshaka when he approaches with the poison-filled fangs and bites your foot. Nor will you see the dying body or the material world around you, because you would have realized yourself to be separate from them. So, this is something that we need to remember till the end of our life. What do we have to remember? Just when we are about to go, when you are taking the last bow, okay, don't remember the sponsors, you will get into trouble. You got the point? Sponsors are very important. When you close the YouTube channel, or even if you are doing a stand-up comedy, don't forget to tell the sponsors, okay, sponsored by XYZ. So here our sponsorship of this life is by Supreme Divine. So thank him while going out. Alright. Otherwise next will be a problematic. So next time when you have to find your time for that, no time. You got it what I am saying, no? So the Supreme Divine is the only thing that you got to remember. You have done your show, finished. You have done your part of the deal. Now what is important? Don't forget that you are not the body. You're just a showman. You just came there, did a small thing for a few years. It's like a 5-minute stand-up, isn't it? You are a full comedy show. Think about it from the time you were born. I mean, isn't it like that? I always think of it like that. What is the comedy show? You are doing your acting when you came out from the mother's womb and you did that, and everybody said, see, he's crying. They're all laughing away. They're cracking at your jokes. Okay, then you are growing up, you fell down. Everybody laughed, isn't it? And when you did all kinds of nonsensical stuff, everybody was laughing. And when you are dying also, everybody is laughing. You know the reason why they are laughing? Now you are going to leave behind a property others are going to enjoy. See, that is the reason why they are laughing. Not because you are dying. Nobody cares. People come and go. Okay. Now, think, it is like a show. You have put up 70 years, 80 years, 90 years, 100 years. I don't know how many years you want to live. Okay. Those who are interested in living a short life are always better off. They don't have to go through the torture. Like somebody asked me a question. Why are you not telling them that they should get married and settle down and have children and this and that? And my answer is very simple. It's very nice to think about people getting married and others falling into that same thing. And well, I was admiring some pictures just now. Like that. Big smiles. Big smile. It's all false smiles. Ask anybody who is getting married. If that person is standing on the dais over there with, receiving gifts, he's got a fixed smile on the face. It's all hurting him or her, whoever. Okay, him means him, her also. It's hurting. When the hell is it going to end? When is it going to end? When is it going to end? I've been, like an idiot, I've been standing here for such a long time and then you call someone, can I have a glass of water? Can I just go to the loo? But nobody is a stand-in for you. That's the whole problem. Okay, you are going to be standing there. So you have to live your life just like this bride or the bridegroom. Okay. Unfortunate part is everybody is laughing at you. See, they have all come for your wedding, isn't it? Everybody comes for your wedding. They are only thinking of food. They are only thinking of who is wearing what. And making a lot of gossip around. Nobody is interested in the bride or the bridegroom. Okay. It's an occasion to come. So you are also a comedy show there. Standing over there, a very nice, coat and pant and shirt and tie and God knows what all things. You may be cutting a cake also. They are interested in the cake, not in you. Remember that. I was listening to some speeches given by some people when they get married. Somebody is supposed to make some speech. Even when you are dying, they are going to make speeches. Remember this. So when you are getting married, somebody was making speech. I was listening to it. It was very comedy, very funny. The bride and the groom never became famous. This fellow became famous. He got, I think, 3 million likes or something like that. So did you get the point? People are laughing at you. So you are just like that. But why are you forgetting that you are not a part of that? You are just come for a show. You understand? You are only there for the show. Once the show is over, you are a nobody. See, nobody. Nobody. You are nobody. You are only the divine. This is one thing you got to remember. Then you will understand you are also the organizer. You are the sound fellow behind. Okay? The one who is always buggering up the sound. You remember, ooh, it will suddenly become over there and then the sound goes up. You are the same person. Okay? You are the person in the audience also laughing away. You are also the person who is the mic. Okay? The mic. Alright? You are the person who has designed your own poster. I mean, if you thought yourself as some great guy and designed your own poster, then yeah, you are that as well. You are everything, including that idiot who is performing. See, I said idiot again. See, like Krishna, I also like to call people idiots, stupid, because finally we think we are the only that one person. No, you are everything. Everything is you. When you understand that you are no different than the surrounding, then you will understand you are merged into the entire surrounding. The surrounding is you only. And what is that you? You are that supreme divine, that little portion in it, one small piece of puzzle. Alright? This is what he is talking about. This is the absolute truth. And do not consider yourself as different from this truth. This truth is one, you are a part of it. And then you think of this mistaken identity that you had. I am that person, whatever the name that you have. You are not that person. It is temporarily taken for a reason, because of the body, and you identified yourself with the body, so it is your name. Otherwise, you have no name. What is your name? No name. Alright? In some religions, they call them Krishna. In some religions, he is called Yahweh or Jehovah or whatever you want to pronounce it, whichever way. In some religions, he is called Allah. So, whatever the name might be, it does not really matter. You are still that one, belonging to that one alone. So, don't think about death just when you are dying. Don't think, oh my God, I am dying. No, don't think like I am dying. You are not dying. Nothing is happening to you. And you will see only the body is dying, and then you are separate than the body. Just be the witness of that body. Beloved King Parikshit, I have narrated to you the topics which you have originally inquired about, the pastimes of Lord Hari, the Supreme Soul of the universe. Now what more do you wish to hear? Again, now, you still want that little extra. Have you seen? So, Sukadeva Goswami is telling Parikshit, and see, I have told you everything. Have you ever met a woman or a man? If you just make one small sentence. Where did you go? I went out. The person is not in, the person will never say out. Where out? Went to the market. Why? These questions never end. It never ends. Why? You know who is the one who is keeping you trapped? The whole story ends with the mind. Don't forget that. Dirty mind. Alright? It keeps on logged onto this material world after life after life after life. So, Sukadeva Goswami is asking him the question, now do you have any more questions? Now Parikshit is, he's doing his final act, oh, I'm dying, like that. Remember that bird is going to peck him on his foot or something like that. Okay, just waiting for the bird. Bird, come. There is no bird. It is you. We are talking about you all the time. The last bird. What is the bird? There is no takshak bird, okay? It is death. Death comes and pecks at you and you die. But you're just waiting, okay, when is it coming? So I hope you understood this chapter. So tomorrow we will do the next chapter, chapter 6. And now everything is going fast forward. Alright? So we'll do chapter 6 and I'll see you all tomorrow.